Alright, last day of the Mercury retrograde, Leo. You heard? We got Pluto in Aquarius retrograde in opposition to Mercury and Leo stationing direct. And what this is in anticipation of how the mindset has to be renewed according to the depth of insight that we've gained from how our most unique expression is going to fare from here on out with our place in society, with our role in society. That's the conclusion. Weigh it. And make sure that whatever you do, you accept who you are without negligence, and that you claim who you are, because only in the claim is our status and jurisdiction that was meant for us when we were born, inheriting the estate of our family or ancestral legacy. Understand that. So, we also have Venus and Jupiter conjunct in Cancer. And what Venus is doing is expanding its power of attraction of that Three of Cups reality into your life, which is the community that you want to belong to, the people who you want around you and with you, the support that you need, the welfare that you need, to feel like there is a sense of advocacy and security in your life behind you as you go forward, decentralized, standing in your autonomous being, your sovereign being, your natural being, the authentic self. You want to feel advocated for and secured, supported as you go. Venus and Jupiter making a conjunction is saying to you, we will support you. You want to tune in to know what that looks like in your life. Do you sense it? Do you feel it? Have you identified it? Gratitude will guide you to that realization. Understand? So, with Mercury going direct, there are things that we know better now. We know better now that there should be no doubt, hesitation, or inconsistency with expressing our heart in full. And we should have the wisdom through Pallas Athena, as well as the strategy, to know exactly how to submit that unique expression as a service in our community. Not missing the opportunity to serve our community with our entire being, making it beneficial for the self as well. So, this Leo season right now is about the heart. It's also about the youth, the children, understand that. And let's not forget that Mars is also in an opposition to Neptune at Aries and Saturn at Aries. And what Mars is expressing in this opposition is, in retrograde of Neptune, the vision, and Saturn, the obligations to that vision, Mars is reassuring you through a trine with Uranus and Pluto. He's assuring you that I'm going to justify your strategy. I'm going to justify that reality by harmonizing your circumstances at that Libra placement in your life. I'm going to harmonize it. I'm going to establish justice. And I'm going to tune you in to the highest ethical expressions that allows you to preserve a code of conduct and peace with others. Understand? So you want to know what the reality of that Libra placement is, because that is what Mars is going to be fighting for the next 2 months in opposition to the Neptune and Saturn conjunction retrograde, and also retrograde motion when Saturn goes back into the 0 degree. Harmonizing and being just to the self, being just to the others. That is what's going to clarify our faith and confidence and what it's going to take to make that Aries expression a reality, which is initiating your independence and autonomy as a natural person, claiming the divine identity of the self and forming the reality of that in your life, living for your divine purpose and destiny, not for a corporation. Understand? Is everybody going to achieve that? No, because everybody's not paying attention. Everybody's not aligned. Everybody's not trying to do the work. So don't miss that opportunity. Understand? So, among other things, Leo, we know we're talking about the youth. We know we're talking about children, the adolescents, okay, the babies, fifth house. Mercury is here, all right? And we know that Jupiter is being expanded. Venus making a conjunction with Jupiter. It's expanding the expression of the Mars and Pluto aspect of Cancer at that second decan, which is 3 of Cups. And Mars and Pluto, when it comes to Cancer, it has to do with advocacy. And so when you put all of these expressions together, it expresses welfare and social security. Not welfare and social security as in with the state, but through your family, your community, your loved ones, your village, your tribe. What will expand that reality? Decentralization, once again. We have decentralization being expressed through what now turns out to be a fulfillment of Donald Trump's, word about SNAP benefits, EBT, food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Same thing going on right now with Section 8 and, many other programs that were centralized in order to express welfare and Social Security, okay? All these programs were supplementing Cancer reality, which Cancer reality was meant to come from the community, not from the state. The Cancer reality was meant to come from your people, the people, your loved ones, your marriage, not the government, Uncle Sam, and the state. Lyndon B. Johnson is the one who converted that from the matriarchal experience of the family into a patriarchal consent to servitude and enabling habits generationally through the welfare state. The welfare state is now being undone by the universe. It's a decentralization of how we will receive welfare and Social Security in social service. It now comes back to yourself, to your family, to your loved ones. You now have to figure that out for the self. Self-determination is here. Nobody's going to rely on any agency or state, government, nothing for anything. If you do, you will lose your freedom. And if you don't believe it, wait till Saturn gets back into Aries in direct motion. Wait till Saturn gets back in Aries in direct motion. You will know then. Okay? And so, just like a lot of y'all don't want to hear, feminism is being undone, liberalism is being undone. Okay? It's going to be a little less painful eventually, because sooner or later y'all going to start paying attention and see the infamous is not out to hurt y'all. You're going to start seeing for yourself. He's not out to hurt y'all. He's not out to make you feel bad. Okay? Feminism is being healed. The world is being healed from that. America is being healed from feminism. So Cancer has to expand for that to happen. So these are acts of deliverance. When people are panicking about, oh, I ain't got no food stamps, so I can't buy junk food with food stamps. Section 8 is now having limitations and restrictions. It don't work the way it used to for the past 40 years, where you just have a baby and now you got, higher probability with welfare opportunities and state benefits. The whole entire sexual market is changing by this. Dating strategies are changing by this. The psychology of free women and men is going to change by this. Why? Because the government and the state is no longer enabling promiscuity, fornication. It's no longer enabling single parenthood. It's no longer enabling recklessness with the womb, recklessness with pregnancies.
What else that take, man? So just those two? Oh, what's that one? Oh my! They didn't say which one. Girl, they didn't take the Muppets. That's a deal. 188. Oh my God, that's crazy. Not even a juice.
The juice, yeah. No.
They didn't take the juice for real? When they started that, it must have been this month.
You get food stamps? You feel like it's food, everything sugar.
They got 67, 54.
So what's the best?
Girl, did they take the Reese's?
Let me see.
Make sure they take the Reese's. They ain't taking the juice. Y'all take the juices though. The green juice.
No.
Your Reese's, they didn't take the Reese's. Food stamps is boring right now. They don't even take it.
Look, yeah, maybe the lady cut the light off. No, it's okay. Come on, let's just get the stuff. Come on.
Oh, she said keep it. She gonna keep it.
Okay.
Huh, what's the balance?
Girl, so we can't buy no candies.
$14. $14.90.
$14.92. Okay.
They didn't take Reese's and food stamps no food, no candy. So they went live when they said they're gonna take out all the snacks. They're taking away all the snacks off each end. Girl, what's the point of that?
I'm sorry, I can't. I would have respectfully told her to back. Like, girl, why are you all in that lady's space? Apparently, she just found out at the register that food stamps will no longer cover her snacks. So she's all up in the cashier's register trying to figure out why she had to pay money out of pocket to cover those items. This right here is the latest from the Trump administration, specifically Robert F. Kennedy. He's been going around for years trying to preach to Americans about the food and everything else that's killing and causing debilitating health problems in Americans in general. So they're all back in this, trying to control the government program, because most of these people on food stamps are also on some form of government funded health care costing the government a lot of money.
It's no longer supporting your bad habits with your sexual organs. It's no longer supporting your bad habits in relationships, your toxic trends and culture. It's not supporting it. If you create it, you will bear the burden on your own. Because there is no more handouts and centralization of enabling powers to facilitate, accommodate, fund, and buffer you from your bad behavior, from your toxic ways, from your shitty culture, from your recklessness. This is a correction of men and women as it relates to the domestic experience and how it affects children. This is going to change everything about how man and woman in America relates to each other, especially so-called African American people. Especially us. We're the ones with the highest abortion rates. Black women have between 42 and 46% of total abortion rates. That's genocide. That is literally genocide. It is murder. You are murdering babies more than a Gaza Strip. You think God was going to be silent about this forever? No. Nigga, we can't keep living like this. All these bad behaviors because Uncle Sam will give you free food and a place to stay. And giving some people the illusion of independence, the illusion of self-sufficiency, the illusion of having it together, the illusion of stability. No.
New at 6, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants junk food stripped from SNAP.
Yeah, this is part of President Trump's plan to make America healthy again. Nearly a dozen states have agreed to the limits. Fox 35's Mike Emanuel has more.
The National Mall was turned into a bustling farmers market Monday, part of the Trump administration's effort to make America healthy again.
We need to lighten up some regulations that allow way more local food to be eaten.
And the administration is going further, approving more waivers allowing states to ban certain junk foods from the list paid for by the SNAP program, formerly known as food stamps.
Today, I'm proud to sign 6 more waivers for Florida, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Colorado.
The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, served more than 41 million people and cost $100 billion in 2024. Before the waivers, the funds could not be used to buy products such as alcohol, tobacco, or prepared foods. In May, Nebraska became the first state to get approval to also restrict soda and energy drinks. Proponents of the waivers, including Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., say they will incentivize Americans to eat healthier.
If you want to buy a sugary soda, you ought to be able to do that. But the U.S. taxpayer should not pay for it.
But industry...
No more handouts. No more big back, 250-pound, 5'4", bonnet wearing, ashy foot, lazy bitches walking around Walmart with 2 shopping carts full of junk food and they badass kids with no daddy around. And a drug dealer who they tell them what to do. We know the story. We know the formula. Those days are done. It's over with. And Donald Trump is rounding up the military to address the little nigga hoodlums. It very well could be a justification for Donald Trump to begin expressing Roman military chancery. You know what I'm saying? Putting troops out in every major city. That's how politicians work. You know, they want to do something that the moral constitution of the people will not allow. So they have to go through fear propaganda and hysteria propaganda in order to justify coercing such decisions against the moral compass. You know, so he just make a little announcement, you know, on the basis of little niggas running around the city fucking shit up. But the point of that is, who's given them the basis to even make that claim? Okay? We are, of our community. All right? So we need to get in position to where we're not even giving people the basis to make such claims. It's a crime shame when the things that people are saying or have been saying that's not so flattering about the black community. It's a shame when a lot of it is true. And you can't get mad. All you can do is stand up to make a difference. Understand?
And Trump has increased federal law enforcement in the nation's capital, but some are pushing back against the crackdown and the new announcement expected from President Trump tomorrow. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Tonight, the nation's capital is bracing for a new announcement from President Trump. The White House plans to hold a press conference tomorrow that Trump says would essentially stop violent crime in D.C. It's not clear what Trump is planning, but it comes after he ordered the deployment of federal law enforcement agents to patrol the city. The ATF and U.S. Park Police are among the agencies posting photos on social media of agents out in the city. Last night, D.C. police say they arrested a minor for allegedly firing a gun towards a crowd in the busy Navy Yard neighborhood. No one was injured.
We have a capital that's very unsafe. We're going to do something about it.
For years, Trump has criticized Washington, D.C. as unsafe and dangerous. This week, he suggested the federal government could take over the city after a government staffer who used to work for Elon Musk was attacked in an attempted carjacking, according to authorities.
This has to be the best run place in the country. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
While Washington was one of America's deadliest cities in 2023, violent crime has been down for 2 straight years, hitting a 30-year low in January. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser is pushing back on the president's claims.
If the priority is to show force in an American city, we know he can do that here. But it won't be because there's a spike in crime.
Lindsay, the president has also floated sending the National Guard to fight crime in D.C. Mayor Bowser says federal resources would be better used to hire more prosecutors and judges. Lindsay?
Christiane.
In all major cities, all these liberal cities where black women love to vote for liberals so that the toxic liberal culture can continue condoning feminism and the nigger behavior, and their violent kids, their badass kids, walking around in 85-degree weather with Pooh Shiesty masks on, terrorizing the neighborhood, and their little daughters having baby after baby or filling up the abortion clinic, childhood pregnancies, little whores walking around. Yeah. The whole world is not only tired of dealing with it too, but they're starting to get vocal about it. And they're not wrong. We got to clean up our shit. Enough is a motherfucking enough. Big back, burly ass bitches piling up food stamps. Hot in the ass females fucking and sucking all day because they know the state is going to take care of whatever comes of it. Yeah. Nigga, we was wilding in our communities. We was wilding in our communities. Our females in our communities in America, they have turned into something that is not good. They have turned into something that is of ill repute, reprehensible, lacking of values and morals, untrustworthy, no morals. And it's because the state was condoning all of it while protecting them from consequences and accountability, while giving them unlimited power through the state in family and divorce court. A recipe for a disaster with American females and their power to oppress the nation, to oppress men, to oppress themselves. All of America, all of the world is seeing what females have become. And it's a turning point now where they gotta get it together. Y'all can keep getting sensitive about it and mad all you want. I am not gonna stop talking about it. Nope. I ain't gonna stop talking about it. Nope. Keep getting mad. The only reason some of y'all are mad is because it's the truth. That's the only reason. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's the truth. You hear it everywhere you go and it pisses you off. But who's going to stand up and do something about it? That's what I want to know. Yeah. So since we can't do nothing about it, deliverance has to come. Something has to stand between us and the misuse and mispurpose of our Venus expressions. Understand that. Okay, let me spin the block again with this trine in opposition of Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. Okay, so Neptune, first of all, that's an ideal. It's a power of your imagination. What's involved with that ideal and power of imagination is you're in review and reflection on how am I going to mount this? Is this realistic? You know, you're considering the feedback that you're getting. You're also entertaining doubt, fear, shame, or guilt, things of that nature. You're trying to balance your conviction, all right, in yourself and who you realize you are and what you realize you're supposed to be doing. So what goes with that is Uranus at Gemini first degree is helping you to expand your mind outside of the limitations and norms that your confidence has been in. It's trying to get you to step in the outer rings of Saturn with how you're arriving at such conviction and imagination. Pulling off of unlimited conscious activity, not just the dogmatic or small tunnel vision of what you are used to and what has been giving you confidence in the past. So this trine indicates that we are past that limitation. So this is a time that we want to take advantage while in retrograde to think outside the box per se, or in a way that is unorthodox, okay? A way that is against the grain or original designs that you have been used to. You have got to think new. You have to renew your mind. Uranus, Gemini. The other trine is a Pluto retrograde, Aquarius. The feedback that you have been given is just letting you know, okay, even though people threaten to reject you, threaten to abandon you, people laugh at you, people might tell you that your idea is crazy or ridiculous or whatever else, okay? People might want you to step back down into what they're comfortable of seeing of you. You know what I'm saying? What makes them feel comfortable about your reality rather than you. And this is your opportunity in hindsight of Pluto retrograde for you to get in touch with your deep power. Okay, your own sense of empowerment, which is through the psychology, the power of your psychology, tapping into what you have succeeded through your amygdala, okay? The programming of that amygdala, the fight or the flight. This is where you realize I can't take flight, I have to fight. Forward is the only way. So I can't consider other people's opinions. I can't consider the feedback as a reason not to. I have to consider the feedback as how my strategy should be. You see what I'm saying? Not no. There is no no. We're not saying no. We're not turning around. We're going to allow the feedback to inform how our strategy and approach has to be. You see what I'm saying? Not turn around. Now, let's not forget the South Node Virgo. South Node Virgo. All right? This could indicate a place where you discredit or dismiss your blessings, your opportunities, even your destiny, because you got your nose in the fucking air. Because you're full of yourself. And the idea that you are entitled to perfection, that you are entitled to flawlessness, that the only representation for you is perfection. So everything else you dismiss and you send down the road. Pisces is to accept things with flaws. Virgo is to not accept anything with flaws. They're the opposite. We're learning that flaws and imperfection is part of wholesomeness. It is a foundation of the description of beauty. It is how abundance reaches us in ways that is beyond our wisdom and comprehension and even expectations. Think on that. The Virgo South Node is an energy that's going around that has a lot of us missing our blessings and opportunities. You want people to see you as being so perfect, as having it all together, as being so flawless. There's nothing wrong with you. And you project this same energy onto others who very well could be destined or so contracted to bring abundance into your life. The very thing or the very person that you prayed for could be covered in imperfections, could be dressed in imperfections. If you were able to comprehend everything that is good for you, nothing would be good for you because nothing would make you grow. There's nothing that makes you grow that is subject to your full comprehension and wisdom, and especially your anticipation. That's not how it works. The nitpicking, the thinking that you're perfect as you pick everything apart that is for you. You could be a person who has reached or achieved success, abundance, wealth, victory in your life, and because you're busy comparing yourself to societal norms, social standards, and all of the above, you miss all your blessings in life. There's somewhere you're supposed to be. There's something you're supposed to do. And because it's not perfect, you refuse. You procrastinate. You avoid it. You call it off. And I'm going to go there with this. Females, and guys too, there may be women, well, a woman or a man that is destined for you. But because you've convinced yourself that the social standard of what people champion or celebrate on social media, your friendship circle, and the feedback that you get, the music video that you just got done watching and what image they carry, all these expensive things and labels, you got it all figured out in your head and who's right for you. But the truth is, some of us could have in our head our lust, our desires, that has nothing to do with what is good for you. It has nothing to do with what's destined for you. Your lust and your desires cannot define what is good for you. Your wisdom does. Your purpose does. And under all that, your identity is what defines what is good for you. We have a crisis with mate selection, and we're choosing others, men and women, based on vanities, passing ideals, temporary illusions, status, competition, validation. We're failing to choose others according to our identity, our purpose, our moral and spiritual convictions, our character and image, our beliefs, values. We are failing to do that. We're too concerned with the wrong things. And we're too lacking in our awareness of how imperfect we are as we expect others to be so perfect. I went over it before. Accept yourself, embrace yourself naturally. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect somebody else to? If you haven't accepted yourself, how do you expect somebody else to? If you're spending thousands of dollars on clothing brands, all kind of, let me be nice here, things to add on to yourself to look a certain value, but yet we have the nerve to demand and expect a person of described high value, so-called, whatever that's supposed to mean. But we're in a crisis with ourselves where we have not accepted ourselves. Without a trademark, without a logo, without a European fashion label, without hair weave, without nails, without lashes and BBLs and fake teeth, makeup, without all kind of expensive clothes and vehicles. You don't have self-esteem. You don't have confidence. You'll fall apart if you can't show up with all that. Who are you?
Tell me if I'm wrong. I believe if you're making $50,000, $60,000 right now, I believe you still have a desire. Even if your family is happy with you, your wife is happy with you, there's a desire in you to make enough to where she may not have to go to work one day. to make enough to where your kids ain't got to worry about whether they can pay for college or not.
But you're valid before you even get there.
But I'm saying there's a desire for that to happen.
The desire
right?
is there.
The desire is there.
Viable.
And here's the thing. The desire is there. A lot of times, a lot of men, they're more concerned about making that finances and that security because they want to give it to somebody. They want to provide it to somebody.
Yes.
So it's that innate thing that we have.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying on the flip side, I can understand why a woman would be attracted to a man's desire to do that.
But also there's a component of this that we are missing, and that is that men that are not happy with where they are financially are fucking mean. They treat you terribly, okay? And I feel like there's a space for that. And this is why I'm saying that it's not that you're not valuable to me, but there's a room and a lane for everybody that I feel like makes it safe and equitable for all the parties involved. If you meet somebody and they're a 300K woman, that may not be quite the lane for you. It doesn't mean that I value you less. It doesn't mean, but you're going to perform better. You're going to be a better person. You're going to have a better mindset. You're going to be in a clearer space when you feel valued, safe, at peace with where you are. And it's no harm, no foul in that. Stay there in that lane with the women that are in alignment with you, and leave the women, and don't be mad at us calling us broke, gold diggers, dirty bald head scallywags on the internet because we are in this lane. And again, it doesn't make me feel like I don't value you the same, but I have also experienced men that are uphill coming up a financial battle. And the good thing is that it will be wonderful to meet a man and he's like, babe, let's do this together. Let's build. I got this, you got that. You got my back, I got your back. But the reality of it is because I went to fucking school, I was valedictorian, I graduated, I got a master's degree, I did all this shit. Now you mad at me because you not in my lane. Get in your lane, make some more money, and then come over here. Now we all good. It's simple.
But it's
I'm gonna push back just a little bit.
I love when you push back.
I love you, sis. The way that you just spoke was like there was no issue with the men who made a certain amount of money. That's less than what you desire. And your tonight's conversation episode, you said that man would have never even met me, which you ate when you said it. I fucked with how you said it. But it wouldn't even looked my way. They wouldn't even been in the same room as me. The way that you said it, it lacked compassion. And so how you said it now gave validity and value to them, and acknowledging that where they are is valuable where they are. Don't work for me, but there's still value in them. But when you say that man would have never even met me, when women hear that and when men hear that, there's no compassion in that. So it instantly devalues them, it devalues their purpose, and it devalues how they have the ability to show up.
Candace, I completely hear you. I completely hear you on that. But I stand 10 toes on what I said, and also my delivery, on my delivery as well. And I hear you, and I'm glad that this is a space where you can acknowledge, like, oh, that may not have been, it lacked empathy, it lacked understanding. But I truly, truly mean that. And this has come from somebody who built a tech startup, who has moved through spaces, who has been 22 in a C-suite, dealing with white men and all type of misogyny, sexism, and double standards, right? And the truth of the matter is that there are spaces that I am in, and there are men that live a lifestyle, whether you want to drink on the weekend, whether you got Don Julio pouring up, whether you're not getting up and going to the gym, there are men that live a lifestyle that I don't meet them. That's what I'm trying to say, is that we are not in alignment. It's not that you a bum, that you a terrible person or nothing like that, but there are lanes that I have lived that my lifestyle reflects a crop and an abundance that men that are not cropping or not sharing, they're not there. Right. And that's just, and I stand on that.
I think exactly what you're saying is valid, and you should stand on it because that's what you deserve, and that's your standard. My point is, when it's communicated, that man will never see me. When we have the conversation, but it also X's out, but also, if this is where you are, you still hold value. You just cannot serve purpose in my world. That's where the conversation becomes lopsided. And when women are listening to these conversations, because they do look up to us and they do look up to what we're saying, a lot of people, Candace Love, I can't believe I just met you. They holding on to every word that I say. So there's a responsibility to how I say things and what I say. And I can stand on what I say, as you should as well. But also is it necessary for it to also lack so much compassion with the other people who are viable options to the average woman and the average man? They still hold space in the world too.
Pretty does not make you valuable. Having a lot of money does not make you valuable. It makes you desirable. Desirable. But desire is only an access. It don't mean that you have enough value to keep what is good in your life. Money doesn't make, beauty doesn't make a man or a woman. And we are so far behind in understanding that. Thinking that your looks or your money entitles you to throw away what was destined for you because you got carried away in your estimation of yourself. How often does that happen? And we have to go into old age looking back at all of the blessings that we blew and turned our nose up at. All of the blessings. These transits are here to humble us and to remind us of what really has everlasting value. And it's in Cancer. And it's about the things of Cancer. Believe it. So let's make that part clear. Anyway, you need to schedule for a natal birth chart reading to really understand in depth for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't just sit around, you know what I mean, freeloading on fucking videos and shit. You know what I mean? Get involved so you can know for yourself personally. Okay? Because I need a deep dive with you personally in your natal chart to see what's going on. Let's line it up. Let's get it understood. You heard?